Hello, hello. Bit of a late start. I was just when I start in the morning, it's funny, that's why I have an 8:03 when I sit on my cushion. Gives me that 3 minutes of grace. But I light some incense, and I have this beautiful bell that I have from North India. I was up on the top of the mountain, this divine feminine temple. And whenever we went to the temples, they would always ring in. I also was at an Ayurvedic hospital for an extended time. And they would ring in their time that they were sitting or the time that they were paying attention. And so I do 3 rounds of the ringing in around my altar here. So it's just simply... It's a blessing to call in everybody and let them know that I'm sitting. Yeah. I had a really beautiful experience yesterday with aspiration, hearing somebody else's aspiration. I really believe when we do the work that that things show up to give us evidence that we're doing the work. We had to take 2 vehicles out to the airport yesterday, one to leave for my daughter so she could drive herself home, part of the quarantine requirements. And then I had to drive back with my ex-husband. And we haven't been in the same vicinity, just the 2 of us, for an hour for a really long time. And I was really shocked with what showed up. He shared some of his aspirations and offered some apologies. And that was a really beautiful time, very vulnerable. And aspirations can be vulnerable. And to share them is even more vulnerable. But at the very least, sit on your cushion or sit with yourself and find what your aspirations are. What's that peace inside of you? And when I do my vision boarding, I call them, I've gone through so many names: vision board, inspiration board. I went through a time of aspiration board, and it is an inspiration board for me. And when I look at it, it fulfills and reminds me of that moment in time that I took to go inside to figure out what was that inside of me that was part of my passion or my desire or my dreams or my contribution to the world and myself. If I have that contribution to the world, I automatically fulfill that for myself. And my aspirations are to help the world heal their suffering, heal our suffering, heal the planet Earth's suffering, all living things. And to do that means that we step into a greater enlightenment. Enlightenment just means consciousness, to become more consciously living in a way that is true for each and every one of us, and to take the time to figure that out. I really feel that that's part of my meditation practice. There's a lot of things that show up, in my past journals. I've got these little Post-it notes that and otherwise that take me back to things that came up after meditation, after sitting. Just like that experience yesterday evening, that came up after sitting. But I do believe it was because it allowed me to notice more. By pulling that card, allowed me to pay attention to that particular aspect of living. And I got to pay attention to that and just listen. Just listen. I didn't reiterate, yeah, but you were a jerk. Because what's a jerk? I come from the place that And I'll give you a little snippet of it right now because it can be a little hard to wrap your head around. I come from the place that, and karma, a little bit of my experience on karma. I see it as a boomerang. So in order for me, if I have difficulty with something, situation, person, place, or thing, it's because I created difficulty for some person, place, or thing previously. This is my boomerang. Now with this boomerang, the beauty of this boomerang is I get to make a decision. I get to make a choice on how I'm going to create my next boomerang. So it has nothing personal to the person or situation that is delivering that message back to me so auspiciously. And it allows me to create a new boomerang. So it allows me not to go down into that rabbit hole. It allows me not to go into complaining. It allows me not to go into fatalism or victimhood. It allows me to stay in my humanhood, my Buddhahood, my humanhood, my desire to be the change hood. I don't know, my neighborhood. I'm going off on an awfully complex tangent here. And another point of that is that we talked about, I think in day 1 or day 2, just so early on, is that in order for me to see it, I have to have had to be it. Ooh, it's not always. And then there's another one, you spot it, you got it. But I really like the aspect of if I can see that affliction, if I can see that discomfort, then somewhere I have been it because I wouldn't be able to see it otherwise. Okay. So let's go into our top 3. I can't believe the size of this white paper, just trying to prove to the masses that meditation is beneficial. I think it's quite comical that I had to pull off sheets for some medication, steroid that my dad is taking for COPD. And honest to goodness, it was like in font 6. Maybe I'll flip through it for you tomorrow. And it was 40 pages long of the side effects. Now, I think that I would trust meditation, but that's just me. All right. So the top 3, cognitive impact on meditation. The Shamantha project was a breakthrough investigation about the psychological benefits of meditation. Based on it, a journal on cognitive enhancement was published and research where scientists Anthony Zanesco and Clifford Saron, PhD in psychology, proved that continued meditation practices and retreats improved attention and cognition significantly. The study was conducted in 2 phases, involved 60 regular meditators to whom the effect of intensive practice was studied. The revelations of investigation were impactful and drew the attention of veteran Buddhist monks, meditators, and scientists all over the world, including the Dalai Lama himself, and provided storing evidence of how the 3-month rigorous meditation retreats improved perception and self-worth in participants. The benefits of meditation as a psychotherapy. One study of the therapeutic qualities of meditation revealed that regular practitioners who participated in the retreat without any pay were more self-content than non-meditators. Beginners who practice meditation for 1 to 2 months showed improvement in physical and mental health than non-meditators who practice for the same duration. Okay, I want your feedback. After this month, I want you to track and make a note of where you are here on day 4 and where you will be, how you are on day 31. Beginners and regular meditators showed an increased signs of happiness and heightened self-esteem when they were randomly assigned to meditation sessions rather than when they received alternate forms of therapy. Our top 3, meditation and well-being. A paper on Asian spiritualism proposed that meditation has positive impacts on happiness and subjective well-being. Following trails of Dr. Herbert Benson's study on meditation as a mechanism to find the mind-body balance, the researchers of this paper discussed how the meditative flow can help the body by optimizing blood pressure, regulating cardiac diseases, mitigating stress, reducing addiction, and regulating the sympathetic nervous system and its functioning, which is responsible for the extreme fight or flight response during stress. Using ancient Tibetan Buddhism principles, this study illustrated the science of meditation and explained why the effects of regular practice might outdo scientific and alternate forms of treatment. I love reading this. I haven't read this study before. If you want the full copy of that study, I have it posted, I believe, on my Bliss Be Me, be.me, Facebook group where I posted the study. So feel free to head on over there if you want to read it for yourself firsthand. All right, let's get ready for our meditation. Oh, and I had this picture of this Dr. Emoto we talked about yesterday. This is a children's book that he's made. It's called The Messages from Water, the children's version, which he handed out free all over the world to spread the word of the importance of being kind and the effects that it has on things like water. And we are 70% water. We are those crystals. We are that. So this was one of the studies that was part of the spring water in Lourdes, France. This is the one where they spoke to it kindly. And then this was the frozen crystals of the unkind water. It's really amazing. This was from a river in Japan. These were both from a river in Japan. You can see the one that was talked to kindly and the one not so kindly. And same with this one on this side. It's just amazing. And then with the crystals, he made those stickers that I like to use. This one is just so beautiful. And then this one is a little bit, this was to Mozart's music, playing Mozart's music. And then he did Bach's and he did Swan Lakes, and he went on and on to do that. So it's a really interesting book that is wonderful. It's just wonderful. All right, so let's see what I feel drawn to use for a crystal today. I always quite commonly go back to my regular crystals. This is my bin of the top 12 crystals considered for meditation, ascension, connecting with other forms of intelligence. And I have other crystals here these are all the chakra crystals and other different healing crystals. I'm going to use this little one for Eudolite, it's called. And it's a little sort of, it's got a bit of amethyst in it, but it's just another little crystal. Doesn't have to be huge. But I do have one huge one that I bought over 30 years ago, maybe even longer, when I was visiting Banff, Canada. Banff is a beautiful region of a mountainous area. I went to Banff School of Management up there, and I brought home with me this massive amethyst that perhaps I'll pull out tomorrow because it's just over here in the corner. So the Eudolite opens the heart and body for fulfillment, gently nurtures and draws in love for oneself and others, and nourishes the aura, our biofield. That's what I work with, advanced integrative energy healing, to open the subtle energy fields of flowers and plants, and I would suggest humans too. Facilitates creating a harmonious work-life balance and manifests new romance. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? And then I have this beautiful piece of selenite that I'm going to put in my palm. And selenite has so many wonderful properties. Let's see if I can just name a few. Has very fine, vibrant vibration and brings clarity of mind, opening the crown and higher chakras and accessing angelic consciousness and higher guidance. It's a link to the light body, helping to anchor it in the earth vibration as we sit here and allow ourselves to drop into the earth, to ground. Selenite is a calm stone that instills deep peace and is excellent for meditation or spiritual work. Well, I'm glad that I picked it up. I don't know if I guess I could put it on my head, but I might damage something if it were to fall. Let's work with a piece of chariot for on top of my head. This is just flat. It's a stone of transformation. CHAROITE. You know what? I think I'll put these in as hashtags in the Instagram feed. Provides a synthesis between the heart and the crown chakra and cleanses the biofield. The aura stimulates unconditional love and compassion, facilitates acceptance of oneself and others, provides transmutation of negativity and grounds spiritual self. Alleviates aches and pains, good for the eyes, heart, pancreas, and liver. Yay. All right. Let's get my mala. There's my mala. Put in the mudra. Index finger right into the crux of the thumb. Middle finger and ring finger. I'm going to put the selenite in my palm. And I'm going to put the udalite in as the conductor between the three fingers. That's often what a crystal is a conductor. We're going to do 5 rounds with the mala. I'm going to bring in my living mantra. You're welcome to bring in a mantra. A great one is the Sanskrit one that I used for probably close to a decade. So hum, inhaling on the so, exhaling on the hum. I want you to bring yourself into that grounded state and just feel your sit bones wherever you're sitting on whatever piece of furniture or floor that you're sitting on. Feel your feet on the floor. Just imagine connecting with that Schumann resonance of the earth. Taking yourself, this etheric line, just like a cell phone line, can't see it, but you know it's there. Somebody answers on the other end, guaranteed. Mother Earth is there, supporting us in her bounty, her abundance, and sharing it with us 24/7. Allow that sensation, imagine just sinking into the earth and connecting there. And take a nice inhale to your lower abdomen to engage that para-sympathetic nervous system, that rest and digest place, that place I call peace, where we have our complete health that improves our immunity, your immunity, so many benefits. It's all part and parcel. Meditation can't be done without really breathing into a good, deep diaphragmatic breath. Because if we were in our chest breath sitting here trying to meditate, the mind would be firing off at probably 80 trillion bits per second instead of 40 billion bits per second. So feel that engagement with the lower abdomen. I find it easier if I place my hand there. It's easier to breathe to my hand and notice that my hand is breathing rather than my abdomen is breathing. It gives me a greater sense of confirmation and a remembrance to the body that my hand is there because that's my intention, that I want to breathe there. We're training our brain, we're training our body, we're training ourselves in all aspects as we work with this place of peace, this delicious, delicious place of peace. So inhaling on the so, and exhaling on the hum. Inhaling on the so, exhaling on the hum. Inhaling on the so, exhaling on the hum. So in Facebook, I have 111 episode series. It's progressive. That's in the series area. Each one has how to ground, center, and align. I believe that is foundational for us to do, at least when we wake up in the morning. We can do it at any time before we go to bed as well. If we want to ground and center and align before we go to sleep into the astral realm. It's also available to you on YouTube under Bliss Be Me. And all right, let's start the time together. Thank you for being here. My name is Debra O'Neill. I'm CEO and founder of BlissBe.me Integrative Holistic Health. I'm here to share because I care. And yes, I do have a piece of rock on my head because I can. I do invite you into our monthly membership. It can be found in the bio on Instagram and in the description on the YouTubes, both each live. Every month, new material, like a mini course comes out, and we work through the progressive areas of the body, often called the chakras, the dynamic energy centers of our body. And when we work through that, we work through the physical, the emotional, the mental, the relational, the gateway between the mind and the body with our voice and our ego here, and into our intuition and our clarity, and into the Sahasrara, which is our connection to manifestation. And then we turn around and we work going back down the body, which is our channel of manifestation. We do this regularly. Every month we do a new area, on and on and on, moving forward each month. And each month we release a new layer, and we get more insightful. There's guided healing meditations in there. There's affirmations. There's resources from other professionals in the industry that I bring in. And soon in January, it will include the live meditation. We're in founding member pricing right now until December 31st. I invite you. I hope I can give you the inspiration to take action to do that for yourself. Inhaling on so, exhaling on hum. One smooth, complete breath. No pause, no jerks, no noise. We'll pull a card at the end to take us through our day. That's one. Thank you, Guru, thank you. Just allow the thoughts that come up to go into a bubble. Allow them to float up into the ethers. That's 2. Put them on a train and let them roll past. The objective is not to engage with them. Just let them be. Let you be free to be. Calming. Creating peace. I used to always get an itchy nose. And I say, if you get an itchy nose, itch it. Allow it to be itched and then let it be. Rather than trying to ignore the infliction. If something is really hounding you in your head, write it down. Stop your meditation. That's 3. Write it down. Do whatever will help you to get to the next stage, the next step, the next piece. Next piece, place of peace. If you sense you're just kind of floating around and you don't feel anchored in your body or your thoughts, remind yourself to breathe down into the earth and find that place within your body, whether it's behind your forehead or in your heart, to land. To sit. It's 3. Thank you, Guru, thank you. If you find that you're noticing that you have some tension built up in the body while you're meditating, simply take a deep breath to your lower abdomen and allow yourself to exhale with an open mouth, and envisioning your shoulders dropping 3 inches. And then just come back to your regular breath. If you find that you're leaning forward, leaning into your next tasks, your to-do lists, your work, allow yourself to find your centering place again. That's 4. That's 5. The last one I like to do, Bliss Be Me. You're welcome to join me on that. I curl up my lips, and it's like this frequency, this wave of light, different colors of light. I fortify the field, bliss be.me. It helps to set the template for the monthly membership and the work that we do together at any point in time. That's 5. Just take a minute here. Come into your heart if you're not already there. And give yourself a lot of gratitude for being here. I've had people say to me, why are you bothering going on with your personal practice? It's long, nobody's going to watch it. So because it will always be here. And when we're ready to put in the time, to spend time with you as divine, really great things show up. So this is a really great place to do your writing. Take a look at what it is that you want in your life. Write it down. Your top 1, your top 2, your top 3. Just something, anything. Find that little spark in you. What is that spark? In the work that I do with advanced integrative energy healing, a lot of times I work with people that are aspiring to even be higher, to be more. And then I work with people that have lost that spark. They seem to think that they've lost that spark, and we have to go looking for it. Sometimes it can be just a little spark at the tip of your pinky. Find that little spark in you. And when you sit, allow it to grow bigger. Focus on it, breathe to it. If you're feeling pain or discomfort, stay longer on. Thank the body for allowing you to notice that you have pain, you have discomfort. Sometimes it's been there so long, it's like an old friend. An old friend that just needs to be healed and released. An old story that you don't wish to carry on into 2021 with you. If you have any questions, feel free to send me an email at info@blissbee.me. And it is just that karmic return, that boomerang, where each time we make a choice to make a different choice of how we show up or react, we are sending that new boomerang out. So that goodness comes back. That goodness comes back. And we might not always do that. When we can just ask ourselves to forgive ourselves so we don't take out that big stick and beat ourselves up. Oh, crap, I could have showed up better. You still can. You still can. I often say it's never too late to correct a mistake, and I was given evidence of that yesterday, last night, having someone share their aspirations for life, for living. Okay, let's pull a card and see how we're being encouraged to journey into this day moving forward. I'm going to go to the other side of the deck. It's such a lovely deck. Actually, there's so many cards that there's 2 sides to it. How is meditating today for you? It's time now, from pen to paper, if you can even offer just 1 minute, just 1 sentence, and see how that changes as you move in through these 31 days. All right, what do we want to know for today from these gorgeous cards? Sometimes one just pops out, and then sometimes I just put that on our heart and my heart and our heart, and we're one. I put it on our heart and find out what we will work with today or journal with today. Power. So we've gone from perseverance to inspiration to aspiration. And now we've got the opportunity to work with power. The Supreme's power is infinite. It is our faith that is small. The Supreme's power is infinite. And I take the Supremes to be that place of many names that we etherically align with and are grounding and centering and aligning. The Supreme's power is infinite. It is our faith that is small. Each force or power has an influence on others and powers. Let me start again, sorry. Each force or power has an influence on other forces and powers, and this reaction is reciprocal. To escape this constant and general confusion or influence, there is only one way: to concentrate exclusively on the divine consciousness and to open oneself only to divine consciousness. So let's not get caught up in the word divine. Divine consciousness is basically consciousness that is aligned with internal consciousnesses other than us. It is a place of higher self. So when we expand our consciousness and we open up to becoming aware and observing and witnessing all the goings on in here, because it's not just in here, it is in our field. It affects our field, it affects the unified field, the universal field. We are those cell phone waves. We are touching into satellites and higher consciousness above us, I believe. So it is that it's saying each force or power has an influence on other forces and powers. And it does. It's like when we have a thought, I've got something in my eye, and we project it out to somebody else. That is a power, that is a force, that is a frequency, that is a vibration. And this reaction is reciprocated back. That is the boomerang. To escape this constant and general confusion or influence, there is only one way. It's to correct our thoughts. It's to correct the truth of who we are from all this pre-programming that has been downloaded to us over the course of many, many, many years. So take this down, take this into the journal, into your journal or a piece of paper, or take it to your digits in your phone, and make a note of how you use your power, and and how, I don't know what I've got in my little eye, my big eye, and how you want to show up with that power. How do you want to show up with that power? It's often said that in Chakra 5, where we've got this, we work with our ego and voice and truth. That's what we're on right now in the membership. And we work from a place of my will. That's a power place, right? My will. That's the egoic part of our living that we choose to tame down and say, well, actually, it's not my will, it's thy will. And how do I use my power, my vibrational signature of me, of you, and be in the truth of who I am, and how I can contribute to the overall experience of humanity. Thank you for being here. I love you. So happy. Find joy today. Bring joy to you and all those that are in your vicinity. And just by doing that, we feed that wolf of joy into the world. Hope to see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. Thanks for being here. Bye for now.